one who comes to watch the spectacle, to see the sovereign of the source ascend again. Or perhaps you are the first in a long new line, the first that will try to stop my dominion again. Oh, by the emerald eyes of the goddess, would you believe that I can still feel it ever so vaguely? The force of the stab that cleft my heart and sent my soul shivering into death. But my followers have done it. They have done it like I knew they would. Blood, the thick red gravy, the source of souls, has been yielded unto star-sent stones and has swept away the eternal shadows. How long has it been, I wonder, my first repose in death? An hour? The time it takes the seas to tear down cliffs. It is of no matter. I live, and I shall claim my throne anew. A fable I may have become as time dragged on, but a fact I am once more, little one. Don't you, don't all of you miserable mortals realize that they who are one with Source have thrown off the burdensome mantle of death forever? I embraced Source. I drank it, made it part of my blood and my being. And so a warlord became a sorcerer, and a sorcerer became a king. The fools of this world dubbed me a tyrant, for the gods convinced them I was such, fearful as they were of my rise in power. Armies amassed, too many. Scores I slew, too few. Death took me, too soon, but not for all time. Ha! Not a thing. There was a woman once that went by that name, until I mangled her body into that of a lich. Oh, my sister dearest, Cassandra, and her man-cat. Mere pets of mine, the both of them, tools to bruise and break as I saw fit. They bled so very beautifully. The reason for my resurrection, O simplest of spirits, is that I was destined to be. Were it not for the vainglorious fools that raised me now, it would have been another, perhaps wiser being that would have done so in time. And time is of no matter, only to be eternally. A woman seeks my secret, for her soul is entwined with another's. Yes. Where once they were inseparable, now they have grown apart in purpose and intent. But my secrets are mine to keep. Perhaps when she lies shivering before me, pledging alliance to her king, I will break her forge before I break her. A source hunter. So you are, though you are so much more, and do not even know it. No matter, they still smelled like you do, by the by, your brother and sister hunters, as they closed in around me that first time. Fear. That most sly, most intangible of sense. Drowned out soon afterward by the acid stench of urine. I had but to look at them, and they rusted their chainmail where they stood. I undid so manifold they had to wade through the gore of the fallen. Oh, what a feast, what fountains of gravy we had. Alas, that there were too many, as there clearly are too many of you still. Although, life renewed has made me rather peckish. And from the looks of you, you need but the slightest of squeezes to make squirt the source's sauce from your soft, fleshy shell. Yes, look at you. Plump as a leech bulging with freshly sucked blood. Oh, I do believe, as my servants would say as they brought in a squirming, plump girl on a plate, that dinner is served.
Stroke of luck. Not so fast. Bloodstone, as powerful as it is sinister.
Cold as ice, cruel as knives.
Never rains, but it pours, eh?
Brilliant dash!
What do you think, Source Hunter? Shall I start shredding from the top or the bottom?
Eternal silence awaits you.
Life royals within these veins.
Maybe now you can learn something.
May his soul remain in the depths of hell for good.
porcelain store.
Sultan scheme.
Magnificent. Oh, truly wondrous. I feel like a prisoner set free, free to bask in the daylight once more. I was so fearful, petrified almost in the knowledge that I might see him again. You see, I knew the Mad King. In fact, I served him. I'm a wizard hunter, and that means I've seen many centuries pass me by. They weren't always happy ones, and you may take that as an understatement. I was once under Braccus's thrall, bound to him by perfidious magic. Life was an endless cycle of servitude, torture, and humiliation. Only after the first source hunters skewered him like the pig he was did my nightmare end. As you can imagine, I was afraid beyond all measure that the fiend would enslave us all once more. That I'd be cast back into the rank pit that was my past. But he hasn't, and he never will. Thank you. I will never forget this act of valor. So you have heard of her? Yes. I knew Cassandra. She was a sweet girl when we met. Hardly a woman yet. The very opposite of her deranged brother, who did not hesitate to butcher her for his own benefit. We were fast friends in those days. Aye, more than friends. Until he took her down to the dungeons, and she returned a woman no longer. A twisted lich had she become, with a twisted mind to match her grisly new shape. He remorselessly and relentlessly sought ways to cheat death. Cassandra and he were soul-forged, so he knew that if she would die, he would die. And so he turned her into a lich. Turned her into a creature neither living nor dead, so that he could break the soul forge without destroying himself in the process. Giving the matter no further thought, he rid his sister of her humanity, so as to rid himself of a spell that could threaten him. Such a man was Braccus Rex. Immortal in his mind and immortal to be in effect. As your swords and spells have demonstrated, though, to this world's everlasting contentment, his deranged fancy was not to be. I don't know. When the Source Hunters besieged Braccus's castle, I sought only to escape. I never heard of her again. Yes, I longed for freedom, for release. When I saw my chance, I ran and never looked back. You have foiled one of Leandra's vile designs, that much is certain. But I highly doubt you forestalled her endgame, whatever that may be. It is therefore imperative that we find her sister Ikara. As you've learned from the accursed duo that was Jake and Evelyn, the White Witch is somehow involved. I will vouch for her gentle nature, but alas, I cannot vouch for her current state of mind. Has she been corrupted by her sister, perhaps? Or have they become enemies locked in a murderous game of cat and mouse? There's no way of knowing until you find her. What I do know is that she lives in a cabin deep in Lacula Forest to the north. If anywhere, that is where I advise your travels should take you next. Very well, Hunter. My gratitude is yours, as is my service.
That's it! Braccus Rex is dead! The way he spoke about our forebears was horrific. I wonder how many Source Hunters had to die before the Source King was deposed. Yes, forward is the only way we can look now. This Source cult runs deeper than we dreamed. We must stamp it out before another Braccus Rex rises.
The king is dead. Long live... well, not he. He came close though, Braccus Rex. Close to fulfilling his dream. Dormant he would lie until loyal followers that persisted through centuries would restore him to life afresh. As a ghoul, no more was he reborn. Exactly the type of base necromancy I abhor. But now that he is dust at our feet, I can't help but feeling a morsel of pity. The work of ages, the desire beyond death, we undid with a simple stroke of the sword. Yes, well, something along those lines. Life, it is such a precious commodity. So precious indeed that death is dealt in droves to merely postpone it, to make it cross the boundaries set by nature. There is much simple irony to be found in these exploits, but at the heart of it lies an equally simple endeavor, which is to overcome the most primal of fears, the dread that prompts philosophy and religion both, and that is the fear of death. To overcome death, if it be possible, is to attain victory over the unconquerable. Such a victory, what a thing of beauty it would be. Still, all this talk about immortality hits the raw and ragged nerve of passing time with relentless momentum. Onward, onward! To be idle is to die.
There sure is a lot going on behind this door. Someone ought to do something about all that muck on the floor, I say.
sodden all the way to my boot soles.
Oh!
There sure is a lot going...